here and discussing. And then, so up next, household hazardous waste. We need to be putting that together for this fall. I know we've all been working very hard on that. Larissa, how's volunteer sign up looking?
Yeah, I think it's going to go pretty well. I'm working on getting the different slots set out for the different areas where we will need help.
Excellent. Cool. That sounds great. Gary, what about the layout?
Looking real good, similar to what we did 2 years ago, same place. So we kind of have it under control.
Excellent. Great. Nate, are you going to be able to help out? I know you have a lot on your plate with your full-time job with the town and helping out with stewards' work days, but are you going to be able to help out with hazardous waste as well?
Yeah, sure thing. I'll be there.
Excellent.
Is the dog coming?
You can come too.
Oh, good.
Oh, pet friendly.
We'll need to make a yellow vest for him.
Yes. Get him an EAC staff vest.
Yes.
Angela, how are we looking for funding for hazardous waste?
Good. We've had some donations coming in. Of course, you know, we always are looking for more, but it's coming along.
Cool. And Jen, as far as the disposal of the anticipated, 20,000 gallons of hazardous waste, what do we have lined up for that?
I thought we still had room in the secret vault under the Abe Lincoln statue in the downtown square.
Right. Just like last year. Okay, excellent. That's a plan. Cool. Moving on. So Earth Day's coming up. And as well, we have our 50th anniversary of the EAC to celebrate. Thought this year maybe we'd tie those together. So what day is Earth Day?
It's the 22nd.
22nd. Okay. So it's coming up pretty soon, isn't it?
I gotta look at my calendar. Hold on.
I know it's.
Oh my God, it's today.
No.
Yeah, it's right now. Earth Day is right now.
way.
No, it's right now. God, we are the worst environmentalists ever.
Maybe we could throw something together. We could just
we probably should.
Okay.
Better get on it.
We got to do something.
Yeah.
All right.
We could talk about like trees. We got tree stuff.
We've been doing a lot of tree stuff. We can just fake that, right? We could just wing it. Okay. All right. What else? What else can we do?
Maybe the compost program, community compost.
Ooh, that'd be really good to promote. Good idea.
Should we do something for the kids?
Kids? Oh, right. Kids.
The youths.
Yes.
I have books left. We could do like a reading.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
That sounds good enough. Let's just do it. Let's just wing it, throw it together right now. Let me hit the button. We can broadcast this live. Do it right now. Everybody ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, let's go. High five. Wait, one more try. That we didn't like match. High five. Boom. Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's go, team.
Let's go.
Team.
Good evening. It is April 22nd, 2021, and this is Earth Day Live, brought to you by the Ecology Action Center. My name is Michael Brown, and it is my privilege to welcome you this evening. Earth Day serves as an annual occasion to not only celebrate the environment, but also to look at our own practices to see where we can each live more sustainably. This year, we not only celebrate Earth Day, but also the 50th anniversary of the founding of the Ecology Action Center, originally known as Operation Recycle. A one-day recycling drive in 1971 meant to demonstrate the interest and feasibility of recycling in McLean County, eventually snowballed into a regular service, eventually becoming a nonprofit organization providing recycling services for multiple decades here in our community. Eventually, as the municipalities of Bloomington Normal took over recycling programs in the 90s, Operation Recycle turns its attention full-time to more education outreach and more technical services to provide for a better environment in our community. The Ecology Action Center, such, was born, and as of today, we are the nonprofit environmental agency for Bloomington Normal and McLean County, serving our residents in education outreach, technical services, and many other needs for a healthy environment. Tonight for Earth Day, we've got a great program lined up for you. We've got some entertainment, we've got some education, we've got something for kids, we've got some wonderful music from the Saraqua Band, and we've got some other prizes in store for you. So please stick around, have some fun, learn something, and have a happy Earth Day.
Is your cabbage looking sad and tired?
Oh, yuck.
Compost it. Does your bread look like a science experiment?
Ooh, nasty.
Compost it. Is your cheese growing a beard?
Ah, it's covered in mold.
Compost it.
Hello, I'm Michael Brown of the Ecology Action Center, and I'm here today to introduce to you a brand new community program. BN Community Composting.
Rotten bananas.
We Planted a Tree by Diane Muldrow. We planted a tree. We planted a tree and it grew up.
We planted a tree and it grew up while it reached for the sky and the sun. The sunshine went into the leaves and brought food to the tree, and the tree grew up.
Fat little buds appeared on the branches. The sunshine went into the buds, and soon they burst open. Everywhere it was pink, and we were dizzy with springtime.
The sun kept shining, the pink blossoms dropped off, but soon there were green leaves, green, shiny leaves, which had food inside for the tree.
Green, shiny leaves, which cooled us, which kept the earth cool.
We planted a tree and it grew up and gave us a shady place.
The tree's leaves helped clean the air, and we breathed better. The tree fed us apples and oranges and lemons and sap for our syrup.
We planted a tree and it grew up. The tree kept the soil from blowing away. Now rainwater could stay in the earth.
The soil became healthier because the tree was there, so we planted. We planted butternut squash and beans,
corn and onions and cabbage in the healthy soil, the rich, dark dirt.
We could grow our own food, and we ate better. We planted a tree, and it grew up.
And it dropped acorns that fed the squirrels in winter. And birds came, and other animals came too, to live with the tree.
We planted a tree, and that one tree made the world better.
We planted a tree, and that one tree helped heal the earth.
We planted a tree, and it grew up.
And so did we.
For 2021, as part of our anniversary celebration, but also in order to address a significant need in our community, the Ecology Action Center launched the Tree Corps, a new initiative to plant thousands of trees in our community every year. Early on, as we tried to set targets for how many trees we'd be planting, we set the goal of 10,000 trees, thinking that we would most likely need a couple years to ramp up to 10,000 trees a year. However, here we are, April 2021, only a few months into this new program, and it's extremely likely that we are going to hit 10,000 trees already this spring for McLean County. We're very excited about all the support for this project, the donations, the sponsors, the volunteers. Clearly, trees are something that everybody can agree on. Whether we're talking about clean air benefits, we're talking about carbon sequestration, talking about watershed benefits, wildlife habitat, greenways expansion, whatever it may be, trees are a win-win for the entire community. The origin of this idea connects back to the past, but also to the future. As we look back to some of the early projects that Operation Recycle helped support through the proceeds from recycling programs, they helped provide small grants to the community in order to help improve the local environment in the 70s and the 80s. Tree planting was one such project. If you go out to Kamlara Park to go hiking or other recreation, more than likely you've seen some of the trees that Operation Recycle helped support back in the day. So here, in 2021, as we look forward to the future, as we look to our changing climate, the Ecology Action Center has been working for a number of years on greenhouse gas emissions inventories, and now at this point are trying to complete a clean air plan for our community in order to help reduce carbon emissions as well as reduce air quality pollutants such as ozone. While this plan in its entirety will require many different strategies to accomplish these goals, we do know that one strategy that will ultimately be very much needed is planting trees. Trees are a very cost-effective means of sequestering carbon that cannot be reduced through other means. So instead of waiting until the plan is complete, we decided to get going on tree planting now, today, this year. Because as they say, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So here to learn more about trees and how you can plant your own tree in your backyard, we have Nathan Baer, who's a part-time employee with the Ecology Action Center, also working for the town of Normal. He's going to tell us how to plant a tree as we demonstrate tree planting in Assistant Director Larissa Armstrong's backyard.
My name is Nate Baer, and I am a horticulturist with the Town of Normal Parks Department, and I also work at the Ecology Action Center as a stewardship coordinator for Sugar Creek Stewards. And today we are going to plant Larissa's tree.
My tree.
And here we have a serviceberry. It is an Autumn Brilliance. yeah, that's really the first step when it comes to deciding either what kind of tree you're going to choose or what your location is going to be. And so Larissa did her research. She came up with a tree that can grow underneath a black walnut, and we're going to place it in a location that's going to help her eventually create a shade garden.
Yes.
So,
And we're planting it in a spot that's, there are some power lines that run a little bit further west than where this tree is right here. So we don't have it pushed further that way so that we can make sure that we're not obstructing the power lines either, so that the tree doesn't get hacked to pieces later.
yep, we're giving it as much space as we can with the size of the yard. So the first thing that we're going to do, even before we dig the hole, is we are going to find what depth we need to dig the hole. It's really important when you're planting a tree, you don't want to dig the hole really deep, because when we put this tree in there eventually, we have a really specific height that we want it to be at, and we don't want it to settle out over time. You want to find the first major root that comes out of the tree. And this one is actually looking real good. It's not very deep. I just kind of use my hands, sift through the dirt until I can find that first root. And on a single stem tree, another indicator will be that the tree will begin to flare out at the bottom. If you buy your root ball and you see your tree and it looks like a stick coming out of the mud, then it's definitely too deep. It needs to flare at the base, and then right below that flare is where you'll usually find the first root in the root system. And I think we're actually pretty good. There's quite a few roots in here. There's a root coming out right here. You can't exactly see it, but it's a thicker root. It's not quite as thick as my pinky, but it's not just one of these little fine hair roots coming out. It's actually a substantial root, and that's going to determine the surface level that we want the tree to match up with around it. So that will actually be the point that we're going to measure from. And sometimes you also need to really check for rope. People will tie rope around the base of the tree. It's part of the way they ship the tree, and you want to make sure that's untied, or it can girdle the tree over time. Just basically choke the tree out. So you want to remove any of the foreign packing material from the top. You want to get the burlap off the top of the tree, and you want to make sure you get all the rope. So I actually do not have a tape measure, but it's not 100% necessary. You can actually use your spade, and this is pretty common for guys that plant in the field all day long. You want to straighten the tree up from where you want it to be, and then you'll want to put your spade up next to it, and you'll use that spade as your measuring stick. And so I am actually about at the top of where the step is on the spade. So because I want to plant my tree about 2 inches higher out of the ground than the surrounding ground, I'm actually going to come down a little bit on this spade, and I'm going to plant the tree a little high. The saying is, plant it high, it'll never die. Plant it low, it'll never grow. So this is the spot we've chosen. Put the spade in. Scooch this guy out of the way. All right. This is where we start to dig our hole. This doesn't have to be exact. It's not a precise thing, but you just want to make sure that the tree's sitting up a little bit high. And if you do dig a little bit deep, it's okay. You can always add a little bit back in. Just step on it real good before you put your tree on top of it. What kind of soil amendment do you have, Larissa?
We're going to be using Better Earth Compost as our amendment. Better Earth Compost is based in Bartonville, Peoria. And the Ecology Action Center just launched a new community composting program where you can put all of your kitchen scraps in a bin and it'll get turned into this. Better Earth Compost at a garden store near you.
So if you are going to compost the hole, you do have to dig it a little bit bigger. as far as the diameter, but you don't necessarily, you don't want to dig it deeper. We won't amend underneath the tree. We'll amend around the edges. I'm pretty close, so you're going to ignore the grass level, but I'm coming in. It's a little bit high. If you want it up a little bit, it's really easy to add a little soil. You just tip it to the side, put a little under, and rock it back down again, and then I'll bring it up. But you can tell our root ball is up just a little bit higher than our soil level. And really because we didn't dig any deeper down at the bottom of the hole, there's really going to be nothing to settle. It's sitting on the clay that has already settled here. So that's really important that it's not going to change height over time. We really don't want this part of the tree to get buried at any point, because the parts that are above ground right now, it's really important that they stay above ground. They're just not made to be wet like the below ground parts of the tree are. They need to dry out. I'm mixing amendments. We usually pour them over top of our pile here.
Very smart.
Because we want the amendment blended, we don't want to just dump it straight in the hole. Even wonderful organic compost, you don't want to dump straight in the hole necessarily, but then you can mix it as you push it back in. I'll blend it with the native soil and start moving this back around in the edges of the tree. And if it looks like you've pushed off all the top amendment there, we'll sprinkle some more on top. Alright, when we're backfilling the tree, one of the most important things you want to think about is we don't want to leave any airspace. So if you have really big chunks of clay, which sometimes in new neighborhoods your topsoil's gone, so you'll have a lot of heavy clay knobs that you've dug out of the hole. Whatever you can do to kind of break that up in the pile that you're going to put back in before you put it back in, that's how you want to do it. You can chop it up, but you really don't want to push a whole bunch of big chunks back in around the tree. If the root systems don't have soil contact, then that area of the root system will dry out and die. So. Even before I've got all the soil moved back around the tree, you want to start compacting the soil in a little bit. So at this point I'm going to form just a little bit of a raised area around the edges, not over top of the root ball where we just planted right here, but right around the edges. And then we'll start using water here pretty soon, and we'll try to get this to settle out a little bit. And if all goes well, then this will end up pretty much flat in a couple months. So you can see we've created a nice hump right here around the whole thing. It looks like a volcano. And as we water, we want to try to settle this soil down into the hole. Once again, you want to make sure you don't add any soil over the top of the actual root ball. We just want it around the edges. You can see already it's starting to settle in a little bit. And this part is really taking care of some of what we were talking about before about leaving no airspace around the trunk, or around the root ball. There are a couple different ways you could do this. You could do it with a shovel, then you could push it in with your foot, which is what I normally do. I make a big mess. So you're not going to hurt the tree by pushing the soil back in. The way the soil came out, it was already extremely dense. It was packed in. That's why we have more soil left over than what we started with. So you really just want to soak this in. And you're going to want to water this tree every day for the next couple days. And then next week you'll water it twice. And you do that for a couple weeks. And then you'll move down eventually to 1 day a week. But all this is also sort of dependent on your spring rains. But you definitely want to keep watering your tree throughout the summer after you planted it. And then I still keep an eye on my trees. I have a couple trees that have been in the ground, you know, for years. And if I'm seeing the leaves start to point towards the ground during heavy droughts, I'll still just put a hose out on them, and I'll have about a pencil width of water come out of it, and I'll let it sit on there for about a half hour and just let it trickle out onto the tree. And you could do that, you know, keep an eye on it for a couple years. It takes a while for a larger tree to become established. They say a 1-inch tree can take about 12 to 15 months, and a 6-inch tree, which is really big, can take up to 9 years to become fully established. So the bigger the tree, the longer you want to take care of it, which seems sort of counterintuitive, but that's just sort of the way it goes. You've basically removed a larger portion of that tree's root system to transplant it. So that's about it. We still kind of left a little bit of this moat around the outside, and this soil over time will settle out into the hole that we've created around the edges. We don't want any of it to settle back on top of our root ball here. But if this soil is still around here after some months, and you've been watering it in on the edges, like you can actually hit that and it should move it down over time. You could rake it out a little bit more, but you want to leave enough there that there's plenty to settle, because you don't want to end up with an indentation around the whole outside of the tree and end up with roots exposed. So
Awesome.
that's pretty much it. It's a
Planted
planted tree.
Ladies and gentlemen, a special performance for you from the Saraqua Band.
ground from the tree flowing all around. I am pink and brown, falling down. Do not make a sound, little loving is finished now. Making beauty lost and found. Watch me fall, oh. Watch me fall, oh. Watch me wide, making beauty out of it all. Watch me fall, watch me fall, watch me wide, making beauty out of it all.
Hello, I'm State Representative Dan Brady. I'd like to wish everyone a happy Earth Day, and I especially would like to congratulate the Ecology Action Center on their 50th anniversary and the important role the Ecology Action Center plays in clean water protection, energy efficiency, solid waste management, air quality improvement, and reducing local greenhouse gas emissions, just to name a few environmental issues. From your humble beginnings as Operation Recycle in 1971 to all your services you provide today, congratulations on your 50th anniversary and best wishes for 50 more.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, EAC. Happy birthday to you from the Normal Library. Woo!
Happy birthday to our friends at the Ecology Action Center.
Happy 50th birthday from all of us at Keg Grove.
Illinois State University's
Student Sustainability Committee
wishes the Ecology Action Center a
happy birthday!
Happy birthday to the Ecology Action Center. It is the butterfly that emerged from the cocoon of Operation Recycle. Operation Recycle starting as a volunteer organization in the 1970s with just a bunch of hippie people trying to get something done. Thank goodness that the governments, kind of came together and saw the need for this, moved ahead, and now in the 21st century, the EAC is poised to help the community tackle our 21st century environmental issues.
Thank you very much. You made my dreams come true. I wanted to see this kind of thing. I did not envision it, but the community did, and you made it happen. So I'm very, very happy.
Hey, what's going on? Scott Miller from AM 1230 WJBC. Want to wish you a happy 50th anniversary, Ecology Action Center. Hey, look, I got more people over here.
Hi, it's Blake Haas from the newsroom. Happy anniversary.
Look at that, it's Blake. Wait a minute, what about him?
Neil Doyle here
Happy anniversary. Thanks for all that you do.
Ecology Action Center.
Happy 50th birthday, EAC, from your friends at Casey's Garden Shop.
Happy birthday.
Birthday to Ecology Action Center.
From Illinois Prairie Wild Ones.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Action Center. Happy birthday to you.
Happy 50th birthday, Ecology Action Center, from your friends at Illinois Art Station.
Now, I am thrilled that we've made it to 50 years. With any small nonprofit organization, there are moments where you don't think you're going to make it for another 2 weeks. So it's just a delight to me to see what you have done with the Ecology Action Center, Michael, and the staff. I think that the biggest thing is thank you to the people of Bloomington and Normal from the beginning of this whole operation until today, for your ongoing support, for coming out in rainstorms and snowstorms and such, bringing those stacks of newspaper, and for your caring about the community and the world to learn about environmentalism. Thank you to the cities for their support and the county, that we need that to be a whole community, and we need to look ahead holistically at the problems of the earth today, but that we can make our own difference here in Bloomington Normal.
Happy birthday, EAC.
Wow, we did it. We actually pulled that off. I'm really impressed. That was crazy.
I hope a lot of people were watching.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
So, we still need to finish this staff meeting. So let's just go around the room for our usual individual updates. Angela, how's fundraising going?
We're getting a lot of donations for the tree program. Obviously, we want to keep bringing that in, but it's going really well at this point.
Excellent. Cool. I'm sure, we could always use more, and it's easy enough for people to go to our website to make donations for that. So hopefully people will do that. Nate, how about Sugar Creek Stewards? When's our next work day?
Sugar Creek Stewards, we're doing great. We could use some more volunteers. Our next work day is on May 15th.
Excellent. Cool. Hopefully we'll have good weather for that, as this spring just gets more and more beautiful every day after the recent snow. Gary, how are rainbow workshops looking for this year?
We're doing a lot of online sales, which good number going out the door. I really appreciate all the effort that everybody's doing on advertising them and people putting them in their yards. We've had some good calls and good emails, questions. Always encourage people to call us and ask questions or email us. That's often the hang up, is getting them all hooked up together and figuring them out. Getting them out the door is not too hard, but getting them hooked up. So I appreciate the calls we've been getting, the emails we've been getting, and maybe people will continue to do that.
Great. Good to hear. Thanks, Gary. Jen, how about you? What do you have for us?
We had a blast stenciling storm drains and doing stormwater education in a neighborhood just last week. And so we're really gearing that program up and hoping to get a whole bunch of volunteers to come out with us on nice sunny days and do that more. Let's see what else. Oh, the compost kiosk, so the community composting program, subscriptions are off and running and available online. I think, Angela, are we all good to go as far as people getting online and ordering their starter kits?
Yep, and we have a lot in stock right now, so we've got ones ready to go.
Do people just order them in the store?
Yes.
In the EAC store, and that's where they get rain barrels too, right?
Yep.
Someone asked me the other day, so I want to make sure I'm giving them the correct information.
Once the order comes in, I'll send an email and set up a time for them to pick it up, and it's been super easy.
Excellent. Cool. Larissa, what do you have for us?
Sure. Still working on energy audits, mostly virtual ones, though we'll be able to start doing in-person ones more, as vaccinations keep ramping up. And I'm really excited about planning a special Yard Smart Garden Walk this year to make it a little bit special for our 50th anniversary. So we'll get started on planning that here so people can expect to join us for that in July.
Excellent. Cool. And of course, we do have our annual Earth Day cleanup on Saturday along the trail and some parts of Sugar Creek as well. So we still have room for volunteers for that. If everyone can help, spread the word, we can certainly always use more volunteers for our cleanup event. So good work, everybody. Good meeting. Good to get this done and out of the way. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for your impromptu efforts on Earth Day. I think we really killed it. So way to go. Go team.
Go team.
Woo! Happy Earth Day, everybody.
Happy Earth Day.